Every glass of whiskey starts right here. So before we start talking about malting, before we start talking about fermentation, distilling, casking, maturation and everything, it all starts basically with this, barley. And today we're going to be out on the farm here in Yorkshire harvesting some of this barley, and then we'll follow this journey through where the next step on Made in Yorkshire will be the maltings, where we're going to go and see how we turn this into malt. Then we're going to head to Theakston, turn that into the beer, and then ultimately back at Ellis Farm where we turn that into the spirit and into the whiskey.
And both look good to the naked eye.
Yeah, I mean, that looks good.
I thought the craft looked wonderful when we saw it.
For the year, because there's a lot of things going about with it being so dry. Yeah, I mean, I've never known a dog corn it shed like this early in July.
Yeah.
The first field, what's behind that.
Yeah, do you want to pour out your hand and just have a wee look at that? I'll give some to you, but your hands are a bit full, Jacob, I think.
Get some good stuff.
You want plump, even-sized corn, and you want the husk, so the outer bit not to be skinned or cracked. And if you bite into it, that creamy white suggests that the nitrogen is good. If it's glassy or grey, suggests nitrogen's high.
Steely, yeah.
Steely, so you'd be pretty pleased with that guy?
Yeah, well, your feed barley's normally very steely because you've given it more nitrogen.
And what's the test then? What are you testing for?
So the main thing we're looking for, as I say, would be the amount of nitrogen in the grain. So for our base malts, things like craft, you're looking for anything up to sort of 1.65 would be ideal. That can change. If it's a high nitrogen year, you might be a bit more flexible. And then for your crystal grains and your roasted grains, you'll accept anything up to about 1.85. So
why is it the nitrogen that you're doing?
Because
is that just a measure of plant health or something?
Well, no. So if a brewer is using high nitrogen malt, then what he's going to create is a beer that's far too cloudy and hazy. And really, if you're having a Theakston's best, you want to be able to see through your glass. So you need nitrogen, because it's the nitrogen in the grain that reacts with the yeast to get the alcohol growth.
Okay.
But if you have too much nitrogen, then that's going to lead to an unsettled hazy beer, which you don't want. So there's a very fine line.
Right.
So if you don't have enough nitrogen, you know, that's an issue because you're not getting the reactions you need. But if you have too much, it's cloudy. So it's a fine line.
And so you're but then all the other nutrients that you're playing around with the potassiums and sulfurs and magnesiums and all those things, they're all about ultimately optimizing that nitrogen into that window.
It's all about the nitrogen, really.
Yeah, right.
And the moisture, so we'd accept anything at about ideally 12%. So you want the moisture to be around 12%. That stores best for us in the maltings, gives the grain the longest life expectancy as well. You don't want lots of screening. So if you're getting in samples, let's see if I can find one in here. You wouldn't want screening, so really thin grains. Here we go.
Like that.
Yeah, you wouldn't want too much of that. If there's too much screenings, then that's not going to pass the test as well, because you want all the grain to be of an even size, plump, even sized, so it germinates at a similar rate. And if you've got things that are thinner, and also, and also, to be honest, if there are any of those that come in, they'll get lost in the maltings anyway before the process begins.
Right.
Because we'll sift through.
Yeah.
But yeah, to be honest with you, these look a really good grain sample. It's always a joke.
Did you enjoy eating it?
I love it. But it's nothing like malt, which you'll get to try a ton of malt when you come in next week.
Oh, pearls, yeah, that would have good. How they were pearls.
Well, that's why I get that on camera. He's not got his microphone on. So pearl is the barley.
That would have a good barley, which
Yeah.
has been taken over by craft, hasn't it?
No, well, yes, but we're only two malts still sell pearl.
They do?
Yeah, so ourselves and Simpsons, I believe. But there's not that many growers of pearl. But Theakston's use pearl in every beer they brew. They make the wash for Ella's Farm to make the whiskey, so it's all pearl.
I think one of the drawbacks with pearl, it used to neck.
Neck?
used to drop off.
Oh, right.
You know, if it got a bit of weather on it, it did what we call neck off.
What, sort of like that at the end?
Yeah, and then to break off.
Yeah.
You know, a bit of wind or a bit of air, got thunderstorm.
We kind of see that if you go to the halcyon fields, you can see they've all done that.
Yeah.
I mean, they look...
But they still stick.
Yeah.
They do stop, but I think it was pearl.
Just broke off.
Oh,
wow.
You know, got it. Then it went on floor on that end of that one.
Yeah. Really, you want it up to your waist, so it's not... I wear quite high trousers, so I don't mind that. But also...
That's the salesman thing.
Yeah. Just got to say what people want to hear.
It's not high enough.
Yeah.
What's going on?
No, if I lift it up there.
Pants are up to your arm.
There we go. We're up there. But yeah, you just don't want to see soil, really. So there's not. It's pretty thick, this. And compared to last year, you can only be happy, really. But yeah, so this could be sold and coming to us within this time next week, which is. But you can't use it for 3 months.
Yeah.
Because this has a dormant period.
And how long does each?
Creamy. And that really is exciting.
I'm glad you get excited.
Yeah.
What's the how long can you, once you've, so the harvest, and then it takes, is what, 3 months to convert to malts?
Not to convert to malt. 3 months until we can use it.
Why is that?
Because it's reached a dormant period, goes into dormancy, so it won't be able to germinate for 3 months. It has to break dormancy.
Okay, that's just what it does.
So we'll store it either at the maltings or Zephyr, or we've got 2 sites. In fact, just a quick side note, I was walking her through a field last year, started coughing loads, she had a full ear, that stuck down, bloody grand to get it out, so I'm now really careful. There's no running in there, love. Anyway, so yeah, so we'll either store that on site in Castleford, but we can only store 8,000 tonnes of barley on site. Right. And to give you an idea, our capacity is about 20,000 tonnes of malt we can make a year. Yep. Now you need about 30,000 tonnes of barley to make 20,000 tonnes of malt. Because you lose stuff in the system, yada yada yada. So if you gave me 10 tons of barley, we could make 8 tons of malt, let's say. Yeah. So yeah, we've got 2 storage sites as well, about half an hour drive from the maltings as well, where we store the rest of our barley.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so
and the farmers can't store, can they? Or have they got is it special conditions to store?
Special conditions. Some farmers can. We've got a farm as well, our own farm. So that's the Richmond's farm. Then we've got a farm as well, which we store some grain on.
Yep.
You get some relationships with farmers that will say, can you take 3 loads a year? So you take your first one in November, your next one in February, next in April. Okay. But I mean, a farmer wants his shed, doesn't he, really? Yeah. So they don't want to store it for too long. But you don't buy direct through a farmer. So even the Richmonds, who, well, my brother lives, what was that, half a second walk away? The guy we met, John, in the car, John Rawlins, he's their grain merchant. So he drives to the maltings and will haggle on behalf of the Richmonds with us. Yeah, right. So when you're on barley walks, there's a bit of a joke. You don't want to be too complimentary of a field, you see. But you might say, oh, I can see some soil there.
But you've basically already bought this because it's your. So that's why you're like over.
Well, no, so
this is amazing. Look how creamy and amazing. No, incredible.
Well, in fact,
farmers sitting there going, oh yeah.
Yeah, we got them. No, so this farm itself is the Richmonds. Yeah. When you drove down that road, it's hard to know because you have your bearings, but anything to the right of that road you came in as theirs. Yeah. We're anything to the left. Yeah, yeah. So they haven't actually cut any of our stuff. We grow a variety called Halcyon. Now, Halcyon was really popular up until the 1990s. Like Pearl, it just lost its way to more of the modern varieties like your Crafts, your Laureates, yada yada.
But what was that change like? Explain that. So Halcyon, you still grow it.
We still grow it. So we're the only people on planet Earth.
For brewing, for beers.
Primarily, yeah.
So was it a change in beer taste that drove that?
No.
To move away from Halcyon, or just the crop not performing anymore for most farmers?
I think crop not performing as well for farmers, and seed development. You know, big maltsters will also own seed companies where they're developing new seeds to come in, and agricultural companies are always developing new seeds, because what the farmer wants is yield, yield, yield. You know,
yield that he can sell.
Yeah, so this is 3 ton of barley per acre. Our Halcyon, so I reckon he said 3.5, I think he was saying. Yeah. Our halcyon is going to be 2.5.
Yeah.
So you're losing, that's a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah.
So that's why
Unless you're getting it back.
Unless you're getting a premium.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, so really in terms of barley varieties changing, it really is just new kids on the block, seed development. This is performing, the farmer's getting as much yield, the brewer is getting as much extract, or the distiller is getting as much goodness out of it, the flavour's still there, or actually we prefer the flavour, booyaka, you're out.
Yeah.
But
So it sounds like, from what you were saying earlier though, like Pearl, which was what we use with Theakston, that's going to become more problematic unless something comes along with the same flavour profile but can get the performance.
Yeah, so we've got
Otherwise the farmers will just stop growing it.
Yeah, we've got 2 massive customers using Pearl, and I'm sure they won't mind me saying, but that's, as you know, Theakston's, and the other one, The Alchemist. The Alchemist is a massive craft brewery in Vermont, and they were the pioneers of the craft beer movement.
Yeah.
And a lot of English craft breweries like Track Brewery or Northern Monk or Daya down south, they look at The Alchemist as their leader, of the guy that's, I hope I'm not putting words in people's mouths, but that's how I read it. But he's a great user of Pearl. And as long as we've got Theakston's, now yourselves, and The Alchemist wanting Pearl, there is enough demand there.
Is it?
But a lot of people who hear about The Alchemist using Pearl are getting in touch saying, we want to try your Pearl. So Pearl is almost gaining a bit more popularity. And if it continues to do so, well, then we'll need to find more growers.
Yeah.